Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kristen Cruikshank, and I'm the co-founder and CTO of Revolution Aerospace. You might notice my voice, if you know me, is probably an octave lower than it should be. I'm presenting to you remotely today because I'm unwell with the rest of the family, so it's a shame I can't be there. But hopefully, what I present today is of value to everybody. And I'd really appreciate if anyone can reach out to me via my contact details at the end of the PowerPoint slides, or just find me via LinkedIn. That'd be great. Today I'm going to talk to you about, Revolution Aerospace's view on cross-domain R&D and how that applies to the autonomous systems sector, particularly with enabling the sector. A little bit of an introduction. I'll talk to you about RevAero, who we are, what our journey's been like, the impact of TAS investment, particularly on a couple of technologies that we've been developing, how we view cross-domain R&D, another product that we have a concept in mind for, and where to next for us. So Revolution Aerospace, we were founded in February 2021, and we have a mission of benefiting society through revolutionary advances in autonomous systems technologies. We've grown from 2 to 9 employees in 6 months during that period. We've received a grant that contributes to a $1.4 million project for electronic cognitive systems, and we've got a mix of experience across aviation, UAS, autonomous mining vehicles, and civil and military sectors as well. We're we're a little different to many tech startups. Most of our team, or probably half of our team, we have families, mortgages, car loans. We're not sort of typical 20-year-old, in case you hadn't noticed, straight out of uni and ready to sort of take on the world and eat noodles for a living. So we decided that we really wanted to, we simultaneously wanted to take control of our own destiny. So we didn't really want to take on venture capital and sort of be, told what to do. But also we needed to come up with a sustainable way of bringing in revenue and building our capital. So to do that, we're bootstrapping our whole capability through technical consulting, and that will be an ongoing capability that we offer into the future. We specifically consult on policy and regulation, engineering support and test and evaluation, risk operations, and project management as well, all focused on remotely operated and autonomous systems. As you can probably guess, fair amount of Air Force or aviation background. A lot of what we do focuses on UAS, but equally applicable in most remotely operated and autonomous systems areas. I guess the other thing that distinguishes us is we reinvest a significant, substantial proportion of our profit back into R&D. We've got 4 R&D threads, those being detection and tracking, AI and ML, because who doesn't have AI and ML on their cards these days, advanced signal processing, and network design, optimization, and routing. So these are all areas that we're building capability in and building products that take advantage of those R&D threads. In terms of the impact of TAS investment, well, I guess one of the things that we've been a recipient of is a research contract all around detect and avoid guideline development. And the question, I guess, to start with is why? Well, without detect and avoid, UAS are really unable to operate with the freedom of movement that crewed aircraft enjoy today. There's no ability to see and avoid without something like a DAA system. Many DAA solutions are unlikely to achieve necessary performance, so there's a lot out there that claim that they're a DAA solution, but against what benchmark? And we, I guess, wanted to leverage a whole bunch of global insight that we've built over the years to deliver a globally harmonized guideline or standard solution faster than potentially the rest of the world. So we've been developing these guidelines for approval of low size, weight and power DAA systems for use in low risk airspace. There's still a little bit of work to be done to finalise the development of those of this guideline, but there is high potential for it to be deployed globally as operators and manufacturers look for alternates to current standards. This is also, I guess, from a RevAero perspective, supported employment of additional RevAero staff as we've worked with TAS to produce this material. Indirectly, what that has done is also motivated RevAero to invest in development of prototype low size, weight and power DAA payloads. So we're embedding our detection and tracking R&D thread into that solution, and we have decided to invest in full-time development staff to get that underway. What that might result in is a sovereign DAA capability that hopefully will unlock beyond visual line of sight operations in the environment intended for Australian industry. And we're hoping to carry out some in-field trials against portions of the guideline later this year at the Queensland Flight Test Range. A little bit more on detect and avoid. So the payload itself, it's going to leverage highly advanced computer vision machine learning algorithms, machine learned algorithms, to ensure accurate detection and tracking. And there's lots of challenges that come in this space. It seems relatively simple, just throw computer vision at it, but it's far from that. So one of the challenges is simultaneously covering 220 degrees field of view. That's the kind of a global norm or expectation for DAA systems, but also ensuring that we've got accurate detection tracking at, so far we're predicting around 3 to 3.5 kilometers. To achieve this, we need to have a minimum pixels on the target to achieve that detection. We're going to have a minimum frame rate, refresh rate that will allow us to track accurately. And we need enough processing power for 2 to 3 4K video streams, the detection and tracking algorithms, the maneuver guidance and control aspects that all need to be taken care of in a fairly small package. Ultimately, the detect and avoid concept works off a series of volumes that you're trying to avoid maneuvering. You're basically trying to maneuver your aircraft to make sure you stay outside of certain volume sizes, and one of those is the well clear volume. That's the key. Is DAA is all about maintaining operations outside of a well clear volume from an intruder aircraft. So we're leveraging work done by various standards bodies out there, so ASTM, RTCA, the FAA and NASA in what we're doing. And ultimately it's hopefully going to allow for airspace integration characterized as rural in uncontrolled airspace. So this is not segregated operations, but allowing the DAA system to ensure safe separation from other aircraft. Now, who could this be for? Well, it could be deployed across various military platforms, Integrator, GhostBat, S100, could be used in middle mile logistics applications for civil sector, and there's many more opportunities there. Another project that we're working on is cognitive electronic systems for small UAS. Again, the why is, well, in this particular field, the methods and techniques that currently exist are not really considered to be contemporary. There's high potential for AI and ML to deliver significant performance advantages in this space, and so we're expecting kind of step change type stuff. We've been given awarded a grant through TAS to carry out an R&D project over 2 years, resulting in a pretty advanced sovereign capability. It is potential that this will be world-leading capability to support Australia, leveraging our experience and QUT, our partner, with regard to AI and ML and detection and tracking, our detection and tracking research threads. So the ultimate outcome of the research is to actually develop a low size, weight and power prototype payload. So I guess it's a key aspect of our company is we don't do research for research's sake. We actually produce tangible things that can be used in the real world. Specifically, through this grant, we're employing a postdoctoral researcher. Around 0.4 FTE of QUT staff will be contributing to the project. There's industry-sponsored PhDs as part of the funding, and there'll be 1 FTE of Revolution Aerospace staff as well. So good investment in terms of jobs and investing in capability in Australia. When it comes to cross-domain R&D, I guess we've got a philosophy that we adopt at RevAero, which is build that which is common to many. So instead of building bespoke solutions without thinking about the underpinning capabilities and technologies, we specifically look to the underpinning capabilities and technologies to ensure that what we build, we can redeploy aspects of that to different problem spaces, different applications, without having to reinvent the wheel every time. So, for example, on the detection and tracking R&D thread, this is a common thread to many civil and military problem spaces. For example, electronic warfare, detect and avoid or airspace management, counter-drone, cognitive and agile frequency management, whether that's in civil or military sectors. We look at the detection and tracking thread as a capability that could apply across many different applications. And specifically, we also don't look at these problems as, only applicable to UAS. For example, we consider aerial, surface, subsurface, or space applications. They're all different in various ways, but underpinning them, the same research, the same technologies can be leveraged. Similarly, with signal processing, we're looking specifically at the use of AI and ML to process RF signals, where in some sectors that's never been done before, or very little of it is done. And whether it's computer vision, RF, electronic, or similar, sampling signals and producing actionable intelligence is a key aspect of signal processing. So we're trying, the latest ML techniques out there offer great promise. We're also looking at the use of compressed sensing or sparse sampling to minimize compute power the processing of signals becomes more and more complex. So again, underpinning research thread technology that can be deployed across many spaces. So applications do matter, so we need to ensure that the capability that we build delivers value, but by building the tool suites, the methods, the skills that underpin each of these applications, we're building sovereign capability with global export potential that benefits Australia. Another concept we're working on is the application of UAS traffic management. Some of you may be familiar with this. We want to use the technologies that are coming out of that field. It's fairly new, only since 2015. The concept was generated then to the battle space in a highly effective, efficient and adaptable tactical airspace management solution. There's parallels to UAV traffic management for package delivery drones, so for middle mile, last mile drones, and aerial tactics, except we're applying it to a military context. So for example, tactical logistics drones. And the application requires different approaches. So there's tactical data links to think about, GPS denied areas, comms jammings, tactical swarming, etc. But the ultimate goal is to try and build something that will manage airspace in the tactical environment using much more capable, orders of magnitude more capable technologies than existing Blue Force tracking systems that will ensure that, the warfighter is resupplied, that ISR can be carried out, that EW can be managed, all, using various assets, including UAS. So where to next? Well, we'll continue our consulting. We're already embedded in a bunch of different organizations, as you can see on the slides there. But we'll continue that into the future because we think it's got a significant value add to our capability. And our R&D is just going to expand from here. We're already working on swarming and directed energy projects, as well as the ones that we've just talked about. And we will produce product. That's our goal, is to bring everything together that we do to produce product that can benefit the civil and military autonomous system sector. And just to wrap things up, here's a brief overview of I guess wrapping things up as to who we are and what we do.
Revolution Aerospace, or more commonly referred to as RevAero, are on a mission to benefit society through enabling autonomous systems technologies. Our team is made up of Australia's most innovative and inspired specialists in the UAS space. We've created a company that unleashes the creativity in all of us on some of Australia and the world's most complex UAS problems. RevAero launched to solve complex autonomous systems operations for the Australian industry and beyond. helping companies implement the right solution with our dedicated expertise. We serve our clients by providing the following services: regulatory, safety, certification, and test and evaluation support, detect and avoid solutions, and uncrewed traffic management services. We also specialize in the following R&D threads: detection and tracking, AI and ML, signal processing, and network design and optimization. We know the benefits that can be reaped from autonomous systems technologies within numerous domains, and we want to help bring them to life. RevAero is an Australian SME with locations in Brisbane and Canberra, and we have a Singaporean subsidiary. We recognize the nuance of each geographic region when it comes to UAS, UTM, and autonomous systems, and have practice expertise to apply a harmonized approach for our clients. RevAero enables businesses, operators, government, and defense to operate their autonomous systems activities in Australia and overseas without compromising safety. We do this by enabling elements such as the regulatory process, the design aspect, the build, test, assurance, and accreditation activities, to name a few. If you deal with complex autonomous systems, RevAero is here for you. Check out our website and follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest in autonomous systems updates.
So that's it from me. Revolution Aerospace, we think we've got a lot to offer. We're doing some pretty cool stuff, and we would love to hear from you, particularly if you're interested in any of the products, the consulting, or the research and development threads that we are currently pursuing. My contact details are there, my LinkedIn details, and our website. Thank you.